Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It's time to build our self-esteem. I'm just going right at you guys this morning. Sorry, the camera looks kind of dark, but we can make do. It's time for us to stop allowing people to come into our lives and just deprogram us. You know, you think about it. When you were a little child, when you came into this world, you always had your father, mother, aunts, uncles, even strangers say, "Oh, she's beautiful. He's beautiful. He's handsome." Until only for you to become like in junior high and someone said you were ugly, or someone brought it to the attention that you were chunky, that you were fat, you know, all up into that when you were on a high horse. When you went to high school and the teacher said, "What do you want to be?" And when it got around to you and you raised your hand and you said, "I'm going to be a doctor," and the teacher said, "Well, such and such, your grades don't match what doctors need to require," your self-esteem went right out the door. I'm here today to tell you we're rebuilding. You can be what you want to be as long as you call upon the name of the Lord and ask the Lord to guide you. Tell the Lord the desires of your heart so that you can be whomever you want. The word says, "I am." You know, align your I ams according to God, according to his scripture. I am more than a conqueror. That's what the word says. So I can be a doctor if I want to be a doctor. You know, I'll use myself. Growing up, being a teenage mother, family members, you know, would say, you know, Elise having those kids, you know, and then it became, you know, where I would hear, you know, family members say, "Elise has all those kids." But you know what? It did damper on me. I know it did, because I jacked my age up so that people wouldn't see that I was a teenage mom. But in reality, I was a teenage mom. And I did have my children at a young age. But look at me now. I'm getting paper. No, let me stop. But that's where we allow people to deprogram us. Where when I was growing up, they would say, you know, Elise is very smart, which I was and still is. And then they would say she's beautiful. You know, then I gained weight, and my brothers would, you know, say things that kind of hurtful. But then it comes back to, you need to deprogram what they've sold into you. You have to be that woman or man that you are supposed to be. So you have to deprogram yourself. So what if I was a teenage mom? I am excelling. I am first and foremost a woman of God. I am an author. I have a master's, a bachelor's, an associate's, and working on another bachelor's. My children are healthy and beautiful. They are going forward for the things that they know that they were taught. They are beautiful. My grandchildren, I'm a grandmother. Yep, and I love it. And that's why I'm telling you, whatever is going on in your life, that these people around you, you know, have to put their 2 cents in, you need to cut it right now. Cut it. You need to cut it. Cut them off. You have to change your scenery. You have to reprogram yourself. You have to delete some things, because people people have a lot to say about others' lives, and their backyard is full of things. So we're rebuilding our self-esteem because we're going to be all that we can be. And I was so glad that my manager gave me the scriptures, and it had been something that I have been pondering and praying about, and praying for people that I've come in contact with, and thinking about how people will try to deposit things into you and say things like you're ugly or this, but then you have to stop and look at the person that's sowing that negativity. If people are not lifting you up and helping you to become a better woman or man of God, this is their statements and how they look upon you. You know, sometimes you have the positive feedback, you know, that is godly feedback. You want that. But when people are just being cruel and nasty, and every time you hear of them or they come in contact with you, they say things to you, you have to get that off your shoulders. You have to dust it off. You have to move around. Pray for the person, move around, because when someone is trying to tear you down, they're already torn down. I just said something. They're already torn down, and they want to bring you down to their level. But I'm telling you, pick yourself up. You can do whatever your heart desires as long as you build accordingly to God. You can't build for self, you know, with your flesh, what the world says. You have to build according to God. And God says we all are made in the image of Him, so we all are beautiful. We all have special gifts. Some the same, some unique, some different. We all are just special in God's eyes. So when people say, you know, you don't mean anything to me, you know that you're special when it comes to God. That's all you need. When they say that you don't qualify, you may not qualify to them, but if God says you qualify, you qualify. You know, you got to look at it. You can't just walk away defeated. You don't have low self-esteem because of the God you serve, the only God you serve. He sits high and looks low. You have to start going to the Lord and talking to Him about your life, giving Him full access, and you have to walk around with confidence. Just poked out. You know, this morning on our call, I was talking about rebuilding your self-esteem. I look at all these women that go and get these surgeries, you know, the medical field, especially for reconstruction of your body. You know, they want big boobies, they want more behinds, they want hips, they want flat stomachs. You know, they have flat stomachs, but because of how we are, we eat a lot, and some of us was just meant to be pudgy or just plump, and we just have to embrace it. When you want to change things and make yourself over, make yourself different so you can look like the next person, there's some low self-esteem in there, and you need to build it. Now, there is a such as a medical surgery. Yes, they may have to cut some fat off because it's not healthy. I'm dying here, you know. I'm just using an example. But just because you looked at TV and saw that Beyonce has a size 24, 23 waistline, you know, a flat stomach, six-pack, does not mean that you go and get yourself cut. That's low self-esteem. Just because you see someone with big perky breasts and yours may droop down here, you know, it is what it is. You know, you just make sure you wear the proper undergarments and make sure that you're with someone that loves you for who you are. Make sure you're healthy and stop trying to make yourself over, because that's all in the ballpark of low self-esteem. So I just wanted to jump on here and, you know, say this week we're rebuilding our self-esteem. We're going to get back in place to where God says you are more than a conqueror. You can be what you say. all you have to do is speak those things into existence. You are to know in your mind that nothing's too hard for your God. So you have to give him access. So let's rebuild ourselves. Let's cancel out, delete, reprogram, change our scenery so that we can be that woman and man of God that we need to be. We all are special. We all are made in God's image. God has a special plan for all of us. Some of us don't get to that because we are walking accordingly to us. He gave us free will to walk according to us. But there's a trick to it. Walking according to you is your downfall. And you will never master or accomplish the great things that God has set in place for you. So I just wanted to tell you that. I love you guys. Be blessed. Walk accordingly. Rebuild. Mwah.